They're called the Animal Liberation Front, regarded by the British and American governments as the second most dangerous terrorist threat after Islamic groups like Al-Qaeda.
There are no laws in place to protect animals from exploitation, so the Animal Liberation Front steps outside the law to make a difference for individuals.
This is Keith Mann, one of the Front's leaders, and when he says stepping outside the law to make a difference, he's not kidding.
We've never hurt anyone, so how could we be classified as terrorists? It's propaganda, it's about diverting attention from real issues of extreme violence, which this government is responsible for, in laboratories, in other countries, in factory farms, in slaughterhouses. That's terrorism.
But as far as the authorities in Britain are concerned, the Animal Liberation Front's terrorist reputation is well deserved. They've caused hundreds of millions of dollars in damage. Keith Mann has served prison time for what he's done, and now New Zealand animal activists want to bring him here to spread the word.
We should be promoting and encouraging people to rescue animals and other people from situations in which they're suffering, not condemning people for it. This movement has never hurt anybody. We rescue animals from places they're being exploited and sabotage property and equipment. How dangerous can that make us?
They had like baseball bats or something, and they literally had them raised above their head as I turned around.
Brian Cass would dispute Keith Mann's claim that the movement has never hurt anybody. He's the director of Europe's largest vivisection laboratory, Huntingdon Life Sciences. It tests drugs and cosmetics on animals. Brian Cass was physically attacked just steps away from his front door in 2001.
It was very, very painful. I had cracked ribs, I had bruising all over my back and this serious head wound. As you can see, I was pouring with blood.
Huntingdon came under scrutiny in 1997 when a British journalist went undercover, posing as a technician. She captured this footage wearing a hidden camera.
Can't find a vein?
No.
It resulted in 2 Huntingdon employees being jailed, but that made Huntingdon a target as far as animal extremists were concerned.
Okay, now! I'm really getting fucking mad with you!
The company and anyone associated with it have been harassed to the point where Huntington's is not able to conduct even basic business, like opening a bank account in Britain.
The thing that will make this company, if you like, normal again, is having a normal relationship with the banking industry in this country. Okay. So we are trying, as individuals and through the government, to get all of the banks to give us a bank account.
Huntingdon has been forced into extraordinary measures to protect its business. It spends around $2 million a year on security and now resembles a maximum security prison.
We created this ditch in order to give us a further piece of protection, so that even if people were able to get over that fence there, they would still have to get across this ditch before they could actually get into the facility.
This is about anger, pure bloody fury. The war starts here.
But Huntingdon isn't the only target. Oxford University was besieged by protesters when it tried to build a medical research lab which would have used animal testing to find cures for diseases like Parkinson's and Alzheimer's. So far, tens of thousands of Parkinson's patients have already benefited from this research.
Only primates mimic the human condition because they use their arms and hands like we do. They can walk on their legs. Their brain's wired the same way.
2 years later, all that exists of the Oxford laboratory is a skeleton of concrete and steel. The construction company only agreed to the job on the condition that its name was kept secret and its employees were not identified. But by far the most telling example of the lengths animal extremists were prepared to go happened at this graveyard in Staffordshire. They dug up and stole the body of an elderly woman whose family ran a farm breeding guinea pigs for research. They would return the body if the guinea pig farm was closed down. The threat worked.
For me, brilliant, a bit of lateral thinking, and nobody got hurt, and it achieved its aim. It raised the issue, it got people talking about the violence that's being used on guinea pigs and other animals.
Such is animal extremists' threat to law and order, the British police have created a special force to deal with them. The location of its headquarters and its personnel can't be disclosed for security reasons.
We're just discreet about where we are because we're dealing with animal rights activists who've been shown to target anyone who's connected with it.
This is the head of the Special Police Squad. He was the only member prepared to be identified, but won't be named.
The hardcore extremists number under 100, but they are actually set up now in a quasi-terrorist cell structure. And they don't really know any boundaries as to where they will go to target companies and individuals.
Like to sign our petition against animal cruelty, please?
No.
Hi.
No, what I would like you people is to stop hounding medical science.
And what we're doing is giving out information about what people are doing to animals. If you want to talk about it, I'm quite willing.
What you people are doing to the people who work for these companies.
Well, do you know how many people are dying because drugs that are failing in animal tests? Are you concerned about that?
No, that's right.
Didn't think you would be.
And have no doubt how far Keith Mann will go to save animals from what he calls exploitation.
I've served 2 terms in prison. I was given 11 years in 1993. I was given 14 years to start with, and it reduced to 11, and I served 7 years in prison from that. And then, more recently, I was given an 18-month prison sentence for breaking into a laboratory in the south of England and rescuing mice that were being tested for Botox, cosmetic testing.
His first conviction was for arson and planting firebombs at a battery hen farm. Mann escaped and spent a year on the run before being recaptured, and while on remand he was caught smuggling out a pamphlet inciting animal rights extremists to kill people working in the meat industry.
I was never quite sure, we never can be, that what we're doing is effective enough, but that showed me that it was. You know, if I'm going to be punished to such an extreme for doing what I did, as I say, I took it as a compliment. It was an indication that what we were doing is effective.